shows on over there, especially during COVID. They put on a lot of shows over there because people weren't allowed to come into the US, etc. They had like a whole like little island thing over there where they had these shows on, and it was really well run. It was great actually. And we had some great, and I mean great fights take place. We had the light heavyweight title defended by Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz, the Polish Hammer. I think that's his nickname from what I remember. And he was defending his title against Glover Teixeira, who is a Brazilian mixed martial artist. 42 years old. 42. He'd last fought for the belt, I think when he was like 38, against John Jones. I never seen that fight, but I heard he lost the fight to John Jones. And this was literally going to be his last ever chance to win the belt at 42. Because after that age, you ain't getting another title shot, not the UFC. Jan had won the belt after, like, so here how it went. John Jones was the champion for a long time, and he had a couple of fights at the end of his reign which weren't going great for him. He beat Anthony Smith, from what I remember. That one didn't go too bad, but Smith could have had the title there, and then there was a knee to the head, I think it was, from John Jones whilst Anthony Smith was on the mat. That's illegal. If Smith had wanted to, he could have done what Aljamain Sterling did to Petr Yan and say, I want him disqualified, and Anthony Smith would have won the belt there and then. But Smith, being a good man, a man of integrity, said no, I want to win this fight and this belt fairly. Continue the fight. He went on to lose that match, unfortunately. I don't think he regrets doing that. I don't think he wanted to win it that way. John Jones then took on Thiago Santos, and he struggled a bit against Santos. Santos looked decent, but eventually John won that fight. He then went up against Dominic Reyes. Now, I'd not really heard much about Reyes at the time. I'd heard little bits. I might have seen him fight once, I'm not sure. But it was John Jones, Dominic Reyes, and everyone felt John had lost that fight. He went the full 5 rounds, the first 4 rounds. I think it was like 3, 2, let's work it out. I think it was like 2-1 to Reyes on the rounds or something like that. Then they went to the 3rd round. I think they go back to like 2-2. And in the last round, that was the 4th one, sorry, the last round, when Reyes had to finish it, and he should have finished it, he was absolutely knackered and didn't do enough to win. You're not going to get the title for somebody if you don't do enough in that last round. And he didn't. John was able to take that round and retain. But he was already showing like signs that he was slipping at that point. And then there was a lot of calls for him to go to heavyweight and take on Miocic or Ngannou, who's now the heavyweight champion of the UFC, Francis Ngannou. So he vacated the title, the light heavyweight title. John Jones did, just give it up to go and train to be a heavyweight fighter. So they had a title match with nobody as the champion. It was Tony Reyes, who should have won it against John Jones, against Jan Blachowicz, who's coming off a good run himself. And Jan won. I didn't expect him to, but he finished Reyes quite early on, I believe, from what I remember. So we had Jan as the new light heavyweight champion. Now, he didn't defend that belt against anyone in his division middleweight. I think it's middleweight champion, the one below light heavyweight anyway. And it was going to be a big money fight. So Yarn took that, which a lot of people would do. I expected Izzy to win that because he dominated everyone. He fought everyone from flipping neck. Who's he fought now? The Italian bloke who fought a couple of weeks ago. He beat him. He beat what's his name? Calvin Gastelum. The bloke Dan Hooker. Not Dan Hooker. Sorry, the one he's taking on. The Aussie bloke. He's fighting. Let me have a look because my mind has gone blank, which is ridiculous. He beat Marvin Vittori. He beat oh bloody hell, Vittori's opponent a week or two ago. The one who made a right idiot of himself. Let me look. Adesanya Costa, Paulo Costa. So he's in great form as he was going into that fight against the aforementioned Jan Blachowicz. But Jan won. Jan beat Izzy quite easily, quite dominantly. He held him down, wrestled him, just managed to dominate Izzy. So Jan's first official title defense. Oh, that was a title defense. It's middleweight title against light heavyweight title. But his first defense in that division, in the light heavyweight division, was against Glover on the weekend. And Glover won. I can't believe it. Second round submission. 42 years old. I mean, I'm 36. The thought of in 6 years' time, like if I was obviously a trained fighter, but at 42, 6 years older than I am now, being able to beat somebody like Jan Blachowicz, who I think he's 38, was a shocking result. I don't think anyone realistically seen it coming. The odds were stacked in Blachowicz's favour. He was the odds-on favourite to win that match, that fight, but he lost, submitted in the second round of the game, which was just crazy. At the game, sorry, for the fight, my bad, I got distracted then. Ali Baldwin's currently on the TV talking for the first time since he shot that lady by accident. In the other title fight on the card, we had Piotr Jan taking on Corey Sandhagen. Now, Piotr Jan, to many people, me included, is still the champion. Before this fight, he took on Aljamain Sterling. He was whooping Sterling's ass. He was beating him all over the octagon. He had it in the bag. The fight was done. And then he threw another whilst Sterling was down on the ground. And Sterling chose to have Jan disqualified and take his belt, which was freaking ridiculous and such a chicken shit way of taking a belt. So then it was meant to be Sterling Jan rematch. Sterling, waiting for neck surgery, wasn't cleared to compete, and then it was going to be TJ Dillashaw who beat Corey Sandhagen recently. Dillashaw was going to take on Jan, but Dillashaw had gone in for knee surgery after the Sandhagen fight. He hurt his knee during that fight. So Corey Sandhagen got the call up, and he did so well against Piotr Jan. I had Jan to win, but Sandhagen, the first 2 rounds, in my opinion, he took the first 2 rounds, and then the next 3 rounds were taken by Piotr, and he just showed his incredible ability, and he probably is the best at that Sterling does not win that rematch, no chance in hell. I think Sterling will probably vacate the title, and Jan will just become the champ, like the full-time champ, if you know what I mean. We had Islam Makhachev. Islam took on Dan Hooker. Now, this was a crazy one. Dan Hooker fought about a month ago, and then he got the call to say, look, would you like to fight Islam? It's a big fight for anyone in that division. Islam is like, he's sort of mimicked as being Khabib 2.0. Khabib being like one of the best to ever do it. He beat Conor, he beat Dustin, he beat Justin Gaethje, he beat everyone. And Islam is like his protege, a few years younger, absolutely fantastic. Dan Hooker was asked, look, do you want to stick around in Vegas? Because he's from New Zealand. He was meant to go back there after his last fight. He hadn't been back in like 2 months or something or other. Maybe like 6 or 7 weeks. He don't know when he'll get back because New Zealand is that strict on who they're letting in and out of the country, even their own citizens, because of COVID. And he stuck around for this fight with Islam Makhachev. Unfortunately, he didn't get out of the first round. No, Islam got a Kimura on Hooker very early on in the first round, tapped him out, job done. Islam moves on. It was a scary performance. As somebody who's not a fighter who just watches this on the other side of a screen, it was scary how good Islam was. Khamzat Chimaev, who is well known for knockout wins and early finishes, he had a really bad COVID and he actually retired at one point because he was that unwell. Came back to beat Lee, who is called the Leech. I'm not sure how you pronounce his surname, but it was a first round rear naked choke submission. Great performance from Chimaev. And the thing is, because all this show was on in Abu Dhabi, it was on early in the UK. Normally they're on like 1 o'clock till 6 in the morning. UK time, this was like finished by about 9 PM, 10 PM. So whilst I was just chilling on Saturday night before on a drink with my wife, I started watching bits of the fights. And watching some of these performances, like, wow, what the hell? The only one I didn't get to see as it was happening was Jan against Glover, because we was having a drink and chilling by them watching a film. So what I'm going to do at some point, maybe today or tomorrow, is watch the whole show all the way through. I can relax a bit now and know the results, as opposed to when one of my favourite fighters is fighting. I'm always scared of him, not scared, but I don't want to see him lose. We had Magomed Ankalaev defeat Volkan Oezdemir via decision. Amanda Ribas beat Werner Jandiroba via decision. Tukakov beat Ramos. He looked impressive as well. Tukakov. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but he looked good. Albert Duraev beat Roman Kopylov. I think a lot of these are people that come from like Khabib's training, like his group. I think this was one of his as well, Shamil Gamzatov, but he lost that one. And then Lerone Murphy, who I think is Irish, I might be wrong. He defeated Marwan Amrikani, second round knockout. Oh, I want to see that. I haven't watched that yet. But Lerone Murphy was actually shot through the face. Not recently, obviously. Years ago. He was shot through the face. So that's a great story that he's making a good comeback. Usman Covington, number 2. Kamaru Usman. Oh, sorry. Colby Covington, number 2. Now I watched the first one. Sorry. I seen the first one, and Covington looked scared early on in that fight, and I'm surprised they didn't stop it earlier. Where's the rematch? I think Usman wins the rematch, I gotta be honest. I'll be backing him on a bet for certain. We also have Rose against Weili Zhang, or Zhang Weili. I never get the bloody name right. Let's have a look. Yeah, Zhang Weili, who was the champ going into the last fight. Rose knocked her out of a head kick, and this Rose Namajunas and became the champ. I'll be going with Usman to defeat Colby. I think Weili can do it in this rematch, but I don't think I'll be backing her because I think Rose probably retains. It was horrible that I watched the last one between them two, and because Zhang Weili is Chinese, she got so much hate from the fans in America. It wasn't comfortable to watch at all. Justin Gaethje, I forgot he was fighting. He is at home, my bad. He's taking on Michael Chandler. What a match that'll be. Chandler came to the UFC, defeated Dan Hooker in the first round, I think it was. Then went on to fight Charles the Bronx Oliveira, and lost that one. That was for the title. And now we have Gaethje, who's coming off a loss to his last fight was against Khabib. It's a long, long time ago. He's taking on Michael Chandler this weekend. This is anyone's. I mean, Chandler getting tapped out by Oliveira, I didn't see coming. Well, Gaethje's been gone a long, long time. I don't know where to go with that one. I don't think I'll be picking a winner in that one. Frank Yeager taking on Marlon Vera. Yeah, be alright. What was the undercard? Well, it's not showing the undercard on here. Oh, here you go, prelims. I like Quinter up against Bobby Green. I like Quinter, legend of the sport. Edmund Shabazian, another very well known fighter. So yeah, it should be a very good card this weekend with the Usman Covington fight. That is gonna be a fight to watch. It's gonna be a fight for the ages, guys. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Let me know your thoughts on this weekend's card just gone, and the upcoming card on Saturday. Who do you think is gonna win? Do you like UFC? Let me know. Take it easy. See you all again soon. Bye bye.